Neighbors, welcome back to the kitchen. Today we're gonna do that home-cooked, delicious kimchi jjigae. We're gonna use tuna, that's 참치김치 Jjigae. This recipe I'm gonna dedicate to myself because when I was younger and I'd be home alone, my parents would be at work, I'd be hungry. I'd look into the fridge and all I would see is a frozen chimichanga from Costco. But I'd be craving Korean food. The thought of cooking kimchi jjigae from scratch, it seemed out of mind. It seemed too complex. But in reality, it's super simple. And for those who haven't tried it, canned tuna with kimchi, it's delicious. It's marvelous. And it's very simple, which makes you want to make it over and over and over again. So for the young Daniel, here's how to do it at home. The one reason why I don't have kimchi jjigae as much as I would like to is I never have 익은 kimchi. 익은 kimchi means well-fermented kimchi. It's been aged, so after it's been made, it's been left to sit around and it develops a sour profile. Of course, the best kimchi is kimchi that's been aged, that's been made from scratch at home. But if you go to the supermarket, ask for 잘 익은 kimchi, or you can ask for 묵은지 kimchi, which has been aged a bit more. So it has even a little bit more of a sour profile. It's great for soups and stews. And a little side note, this kimchi will stain your wooden cutting board, so don't put it directly on there. Put it on something and then cut it. I think we're gonna need around 1 cup of aged kimchi. That's gonna come out to about 1/8 pogi. Cut them up small, bite-sized pieces. I'm gonna throw in the stub part because anyone who truly loves kimchi jjigae or kimchi in general, they like to eat this one as well. So I'm gonna add that in. Yep, I was right. 1/8 head of napa cabbage. That's gonna come out to 1 cup, okay? I also like to add in a little bit of onions, but here don't add too much because when you boil onions, what happens? It turns a little bit sweet, right? So let's just use 1/4 of an onion. Chop it up. Now at the very end, we're gonna throw in some spring onion for garnish. Just like a finger length portion. I want to use both the white portion and the green portion. Cut them up. All right, and in our kimchi jjigae, we want that 칼칼한 taste, which means it's a piquant spice, P-I-Q-U-A-N-T. That's right, so we're gonna add a little bit of chili pepper. I wouldn't add the whole thing because we're gonna add some spices to the kimchi anyway. Half of 청양 chili pepper. Mince yourself half tablespoon of garlic. And then of course, we're gonna throw in some tofu. We can use half a block. Chop it up. All right, guys, very simple. Let's get that kimchi, 1 cup in, and then the onion and whatever leftover kimchi juice or accessory, just add that all in. Now, I've tried a lot of 참치김치 jjigae recipes, and I prefer the ones that have a little bit of gochujang. This gochujang is gonna add a little bit of kick, but also a depth of flavor when you taste the broth. All right, and then we're gonna add 1 tablespoon of soy sauce. Yes, I know the heat is not on yet, don't worry. All right, and then we have some canned tuna. This is 150 grams. Now the key step here is we wanna use this oil. And instead of adding vegetable oil or olive oil, actually we never use olive oil, but we wanna add this oil because it has so much deep flavor in it. Now I'm purposely not adding in the tuna now because we're gonna boil this stew, and by the time it finishes boiling, it's gonna become one with the stew. You don't even know where the tuna chunks are. So we're gonna add that at the end. Just add in all the oil from the tuna can now. I want a relatively high heat. Let's go medium high. We rarely cook on high. Okay, and we're gonna stir fry this kimchi. And I want you to set a timer now for 4 minutes. We really wanna cook this around and make sure you get a little bit of exercise today with your wrist. 4 minutes. Let's turn this into a delicious stir-fried kimchi. All right, keep going, y'all. We want to stir fry this around until there's no more moisture coming out from the kimchi. I'll show you. All right, that's 4 minutes. Take a look. There's no moisture left. It looks like the kimchi that's left over on a Korean barbecue grill pan at the end. That's that kimchi that we're looking for, yes. All right, so that it doesn't cook anymore, we're gonna add 2.5 cups of water. That's 1, another cup. All right, and that's another half cup. Now you see it along the walls of the pot. There's a lot of those leftover burnt bits. Get all of that into the soup. That's all flavor. Scrub, 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 scrub. And get all of that flavor into our broth. To this, my friends, we're gonna add 1 tablespoon of gochugaru flakes. We want that redness. This is too orange. This wouldn't qualify as kimchi jjigae for most households. We gotta get that red flavor. I'll show you. Bless you, Katie. Now remember, we added 2.5 cups of water that needs to get seasoned. And so what I'm gonna add is 1 tablespoon of Korean anchovy fish sauce. This just adds a lot of umami, and when you taste it, you get that deep tasting broth. It's amazing. Instead of anchovy fish sauce, here you could technically add 1 tablespoon more of soy sauce, but it might darken the soup. Now once it comes to boil, let's add in our sliced chili pepper, then 1/2 tablespoon of minced garlic. Yes, yes, yes. Do a few cracks of black pepper. Whew, this looks like money. Then I want you to give around 2 minutes to boil, right? We want all those flavors to come together. 2 minutes. All right, after 2 minutes, let's add in our tofu to one side. Yes, and then our green onions to the other. And then of course our 주인공, our protagonist, our main character, our 참치, the tuna. Yes, put that right in the middle so that we know this is 참치김치 찌개. Holy shnikes! Holy moly! You can add a little bit of gochugaru to make the make the tuna looks nice. Completely unnecessary, but and then just give this 1 more minute to cook together for all the flavors to come. And you can already tell by my voice, this is gonna taste really good. I haven't had kimchi jjigae in a while. All right, and guys, take a look at this kimchi jjigae. This looks like some campfire over the fire. Kimchi jjigae. Growing up, I always liked to eat kimchi jjigae out of these like old school golden pots. So I'm gonna transfer a little bit to there. Wow. You see, since we added the tuna in last, you get the big chunks there. Very nice. Give it a little reheat. I'm gonna hit it with a little bit of black pepper. Wow, and there you go, guys. This is the visual of kimchi jjigae that's being cooked in a restaurant in the countryside of Korea. We did this one proper. Turn off the heat. Just allow me to take a little sip of the soup. Just see where it's at. Kimchi jjigae, just like many other Korean soups and stews, it tastes better the next day on the second boil. And but you know what? I nailed the first boil as well. Oh my gosh. Katie, come try this. I'll give it a little bit more black pepper on top. Katie, come try this. Doesn't it look like amazing?
Oh, wow.
Try the soup.
This reminds me of that kimchi jjigae place in the back street of Myeongdong.
I wonder if it's still there. Hopefully it survives. This is next level, huh?
This is with the kimchi that you bought?
Yeah, this is with store-bought kimchi. Imagine all of our neighbors who have got delicious kimchi from their mothers. 맛있지?
And it has that deep taste.
That's with that.
The superficial.
Yeah, that's that anchovy fish sauce. It adds a depth of flavor.
That's it.
Yeah, because once in a while we get some comments on our blog that was like, "There's no way I could eat this whole bowl." Well, of course you got to eat it with rice, my friend. If you eat this straight, you will die. You will die. All right, some tuna that we can break up, then some kimchi, like that. Ah, we need some fried egg on the side.
You're right.
But before, let's kill our viewers with this delicious. Like if you grew up with Korean food, you know what's about to.
What's that? Are you crying? Crying out of happiness?
My tears are adding to the broth. It's so good. This is one soup that, again, like I would crave from time to time, Katie, but my mom would be at work. I don't know how to make it. So I would end up eating like a fried burrito or microwavable burrito. Not that burritos are bad, but
it's so easy. It's not difficult at all.
it's easy once you know. Now neighbors, you know. So hopefully share it with your kids, and if they grew up on Korean food, they're gonna really enjoy the simplicity and more likely the flavor of this delicious kimchi jjigae.
Okay. That's good. Adios.
Adios, guys.
One day we up, one day we down, one day we up.